Hello there. I am Kelly Rushing. This is my career research project for course CBA 330, which is Business Professionalism at Jacksonville State University. And the date is July 28th, 2024. I would like to become an accountant, more specifically, a certified public accountant. I feel like being able to help people and businesses gain a greater understanding of how to interpret what their bookkeeping is trying to convey is a task that not many can take on. I've included a few quotes from some accountants, and my favorite is from David Taylor. The best accountants don't just manage money, they mold financial destinies. This is absolutely true. If you cannot understand your numbers, how do you know if you're successful? I hope to one day merge the gap, a little accounting humor there, between people and their financial futures. I currently live in Wedowee. I chose job opportunities in Atlanta, Georgia, as well as Birmingham, Alabama. I am almost directly in the middle of the two large metropolitan areas. I highlighted a few accounting positions from each city. Atlanta had almost 5 times the job openings as today than Birmingham. However, many different industries are in great need of accountants. Even the Internal Revenue Service in Atlanta is in need of skilled accountants. So, of the two places, I chose Birmingham, Alabama as a place that I would like to build my career. I know that Birmingham is not a small town, but I feel like it has more of the work environment that I am pursuing. Birmingham is the home to many different industries such as healthcare, finance, technology, and manufacturing. I feel with the vast history and continuing growth that Birmingham has recently seen, there's a great deal of cultural diversity, and that is important to me. Also, if I was to pursue my doctorate degree, I would be within close proximity to the University of Alabama at Birmingham. Also, I am much more familiar with Birmingham, and because I have to consider this, my specialized medical care team is also located in Birmingham. Let's talk about the money. I don't aspire to be rich and famous, but I do aspire to be comfortable and successful. According to ZipRecruiter.com, the median salaries in Alabama for a licensed CPA professional is just north of $81,000 a year. While this is a smaller amount than the national average, the cost of living in Alabama is much more affordable than other places in the nation. While doing my research for job opportunities in Birmingham, I extended my searching distance and found a listing for a senior accountant for special projects. This intrigued me. This was with the Alabama Institute for Deaf and Blind in Talladega, Alabama. I can honestly tell you that if I had my license today, I would have applied for this position immediately. My reasons for wanting to be with this company are it isn't within driving distance of my current home. It's an environment that promotes diversity. And honestly, I have more than just myself to think about in my career and my career aspirations. My husband also has career aspirations, and he's been very successful in the position that he's in. Also, Talladega is relatively close to another metropolitan area. The Alabama Institute for Deaf and Blind is located in Talladega, Alabama. It actually has two addresses, one physical address and one shipping address, so I included both of those, as well as the telephone information, fax information, and an email to contact them for any questions. On this slide is listed the roles of leadership for Alabama Institute for Deaf and Blind. As you can see, there are 3 listed. I chose to do the president, the CFO, and the director of the Talladega campus. There are multiple campuses across the state of Alabama, but I only chose to put the director of instruction on this slide because the position that I'd like to obtain is only in Talladega. So we have Dennis Gilliam. He is a doctor of education and he serves as president. His email address as well as phone number are listed there. His direct line. The chief financial officer by the name of Jonathan Sherbert. His email as well as his direct phone number is listed. And Tamara Kidd, the director of the campus in Talladega. Her email as well as her phone number are listed here. Pictured here in this slide is the Manning Hall facility. It is such a beautiful building that I felt that it needed to be featured. The Human Resource Director is Kelly Park, and her information is listed here. So, when pursuing job opportunities, you may ask yourself, how am I going to fit in? With the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind, I feel like I would have a greater sense of empathy because I do have a hearing deficiency myself. And so I feel like I could relate to those that are being served, even though I would be in an accounting office. I feel like I would be seen as an equal, even though I do have a physical disability. And they promote diversity, which is also very, very important to me. The overall vision of the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind to prepare those with a disability for the workforce, which coincides with my volunteer work that I already do affected with rare diseases. And lastly, I am educated, I'm hardworking, enthusiastic, and I want to make a difference in the world. So I feel like my values, as well as the values of this company, would align perfectly and we would make a very harmonious team. Same, but different. I found a position for a senior accountant, which is an accountant in training to be the chief financial officer just outside of Nashville in Brentwood, Tennessee. They make approximately $80,000 to just north of $86,000 annually. There are some pros and cons to this position. I would be very familiar with the closing processes for accounting, cost accounting, financial accounting, auditor criteria, accuracy, and reporting to my supervisor. I would be up to date and current on all of those requirements for the job. However, there are some cons that come along with any job that's not within driving distance of your home. So I would have to move approximately 250 miles away from my current home. The job requires some experience, 3 to 5 years in an accounting office, and well, I just don't have that at the time. The other thing too is there would be some government reports, and I may not be familiar with those in the state of Tennessee versus what I would be familiar with in Alabama. And lastly, and most importantly, the housing prices in Brentwood, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, are approximately $1.4 million. I don't feel that $80,000 a year would be a good choice in purchasing a nearly $1.5 million home. So, would I be ready after I graduated and had my degree? Probably. Would I take the position? Probably not, whenever I could make approximately the same amount without having to move and without having to buy a new house. And also, my husband would not have to uproot himself or his job. I feel like my first job featured fits my career profile quite well. I want to be a part of an organization that promotes diversity and has the greater good at heart. I feel like I could also excel as a marketing specialist. I took a few quotes from some marketing specialists online, and I think their words are very full of wisdom and very useful, especially Joe Kernoff. Good marketing makes the company look smart. Great marketing makes the customer feel smart. I feel like that summarizes the need for marketing in the business world. Customers need to feel a certain way about a product or a brand. And once that feeling is established, which is hopefully good, it can promote profits for the company for what they are trying to sell, whether it be a good or a service. I used Indeed.com to find job opportunities for a marketing specialist in two very distinct United States cities. Could they be any further apart? I chose Los Angeles and New York, and I tried to find alike opportunities for comparison in both large cities. While there may be some names here you recognize, i.e., Lululemon, HelloFresh, Uber, I tried to show that marketing is needed for services and industry too. I have two legal firms for each city as well as a learning and healthcare service. All industries need marketing. So, where did I choose? I chose, if you can't tell by the skyline, New York. More specifically, Manhattan. I love New York. I visited that city multiple times, and I've said that I could live there before. I know that New York is more fast paced than rural Alabama, but it has immense opportunities there. New York is the world's financial capital. I mean, Wall Street is there, as well as some well-known companies like JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, and that's just to name a few. There is a huge capacity for a high salary as well as advancement in your career in New York City. Also, with New York City, there is amazing networking opportunities. With this, I would want somebody to know my name and think of me for a special project. And in New York, I feel like that could be done, and therefore enhancing my career. Also, something very important for marketing professionals. There is an enormous tourism industry in New York, and there's hotels, entertainment, restaurants, and that's just to name a few. And marketing is needed to promote these services. New York is a great place to enhance your career, especially if you're in marketing. Let's talk a little bit more about money again. While this graph accurately represents New York State and the median salary for marketing professionals, I'm not sure that it accurately represents the salaries for marketing professionals in New York City. Salaries in New York City are substantially higher than that of their counterparts. If you look closely, you can see that there's only $338 difference from the state average versus the national average. I chose a senior specialist in media sales with Macy's, as in Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Macy's as in Miracle on 34th. By the way, that's one of my very favorite Christmas movies. The reason I chose Macy's was because the establishment has been around since 1858, but built its headquarters in Herald Square in 1902. Macy's has been in this location for 122 years. To say they are well established is an understatement. With such large company and well-established company, I feel like there are unlimited opportunities for advancement and the potential to even be CEO one day. Not that I want to take the current CEO's position, but obviously Macy's is a leader in the industry of retail and shopping. They have learned to formulate an experience for its customers that stands the test of time and is passed from one generation to the next. Also, as times change and the industry is subject to new innovations and experience, I feel that Macy's would be open to new ideas, thoughts, and the creative thinking process. I could not find a direct email for Macy's headquarters, so I included the general customer service email as well as a website address. Macy's is located in the heart of Manhattan. I actually saw the building being decorated last November, a few weeks before the Thanksgiving Day parade. The effort and creativity that goes into each year's design is breathtaking. I also love Christmas, so what better place to feel completely immersed in the holiday season? Macy's is located at 151 West 34th Street, as in Miracle on 34th, and of course in New York, New York. And the telephone number for the headquarters general line is located on this slide as well. Macy's leadership roles are held by Tony Spring, the CEO and president, who attended Cornell University and has been with Macy's since 1987. Adrian Mitchell is the acting chief financial officer as well as the chief operations officer and has an MBA from Harvard. And lastly, I included Laura Miller, the executive vice president and chief information data officer. She is a graduate from the University of Maryland. I looked for some phone numbers and email addresses for these leaders, but I can only imagine that these are kept inter-office due to the sheer number of emails that the company receives. And also, with such important roles that these successful leaders hold, I included the LinkedIn profiles as a means of their information as well as a way to contact them if needed. Danielle Kerrigan serves as the lead human resources director of Macy's. Just like her colleagues, I had a difficult time finding her direct email and phone number. So I included her LinkedIn profile and the benefits information line for Macy's employees. I would love the opportunity to hold employment with a company such as Macy's. I feel that my abilities would fit cohesively with their desire to best serve the public, to serve their customers, and also serve in a capacity that builds upon the relationships that already exist with vendors. So how would I fit in? I am creative and can adapt quickly to the needs of the industry. I'm quick on my feet, I'm a critical thinker, and I am all about success. More so, I could be a team player, I could be led, or I can lead a team. Whatever needs to be done, I am just there for the greatest outcome. I could cultivate lasting relationships with new vendors that leads to the sale and sales decisions. And lastly, I could make a welcomed addition to Macy's with my education, my work ethic, and sheer determination to help Macy's become even more successful. I found a company less than 1 mile from the Macy's headquarters that is looking to hire a marketing manager. While the skills required for each position are very similar and the pay is comparable, I feel like I could fit into either position seamlessly. Triton Construction Company is looking for a marketing manager. I would be able to offer them very strong personal skills with their clients. I have great problem solving ability. I can meet the technological requirements that they have, such as Excel, PowerPoint, spreadsheets, whatever is needed, analytical thinking problems, as well as accounting software. I can cultivate customer and vendor satisfaction relationships. And accounting experience could benefit with a multi-million-dollar proposals, such as a budget or what we could do with this amount of money for your company. That is the pros of this job. However, there are some cons that go along with every job. Finding housing in New York City is difficult. It is little bit overpopulated, and people will pretty much live in closets at this point. The lack of required years of experience, I don't have. They want 3 years experience, and of course, I don't have 3 years in a marketing position. The climate acclimation. So cold weather is actually very hard for me. It can create some problems, and so that would be an issue. And in New York City, there are a numerous amount of physical demands on you. Most people walk wherever they're going, and so I would have to make adjustments as far as public transportation and walking. And then, of course, they require a knowledge of construction and architecture. While I don't have these, I'm also very quick to learn these and can grab onto those concepts very quickly. Do I feel like I would be ready for this job after graduation? Absolutely. I would be happy in either role, whether it be with Macy's or Triton Construction. But I can honestly tell you that I would probably rather go with Macy's. I just feel like the company is more established and there's the brand that goes with Macy's. To say I work at Macy's would be a great accomplishment and achievement. Thank you so much for taking the time to view the job opportunities, cities, and places that I would like to create, cultivate, and succeed in my future career. I hope that the information provided today was not only informative, but also gave some insight to the goals that I have set for myself in the future.